Namaste and greetings to all the audience. I welcome to all to the keynote address on IoT and smart cities, technology challenges and opportunities. Myself, Dr. Santosh Krishna Baby, New Horizon College of Engineering, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. Before we start, I would like to thank all the organizing team of this international conference for inviting me to present a keynote address on IoT and smart cities. Let us start this presentation, and today we are going to see smart city and how IoT is playing a major role in developing a smart city. So first we'll start with the introduction, where we'll be discussing about the necessity of a smart city. Then we'll be discussing about the smart city definition, decision tree, typical smart city solutions. The third one will concentrate on the Father of IoT, IoT Market, definition, IoT Reference Model. The lastly, we'll be discussing about IoT in smart city, how IoT helps to identify the problems and how the IoT gives us some solution in management of the city, key challenges and solutions, and what is the roadmap to travel to reach the destination. First, we know the popular proverb, necessity is the mother of invention. COVID-19, the pandemic has forced us all to rethink the way we live, work and socialize. We remember the days where we are isolated from the city, we are isolated from the people around us, we are isolated. We were completely isolated when the pandemic was in the peak situation. Whereas with technology proving how vital it was to become cities and how they have responded to the pandemic, but in many countries governments have taken very good steps where many innovations have come up for solving to overcome the pandemic situations to some extent. And now indeed innovations such as Internet of Things, IoT, 5G and location based services have been used to help to minimize the risk of transmission, maintaining the social distancing measures and ensure the continuation of visual and vital services. As technology grows, the concept of artificial intelligence, AI and Internet of Things, IoT can be used into planning smart cities, which can gradually tackle several issues in a consistent society. So when there is a necessity, we will always go with some sort of innovation and invention. So when we had this COVID-19 issue, we got so many inventions, so many innovations have come up. Those when the situation, we pray that the situation should not repeat again, but when the situation if repeats also, we should be prepared to solve it. So when the smart cities are built, we will be able to have some solutions to fight against this type of pandemic situations. What is actually a smart city? In general, a smart city is a city that uses technology to provide services and solve city problems. A smart city does things like to improve the transportation, accessibility and improve social services, promote sustainability and gives citizens a voice. The main objective or goal of a smart city is to improve policy efficiency, reduce waste and inconvenience, improve social economic quality and maximize social inclusion. The term smart describes to the city's ability to create well-being for its citizens. So it is very simple that a smart describes the city's ability to create well-being for its citizens. So smart means a citizen should be enjoying the society. So what is the actual definition of a smart city? So in when you surf in the internet, you will get so many definitions for a smart city. Still it is being defined. Okay, in general we can define a smart city as it is an innovative city that uses information and communication technologies and other means to improve quality of life, provide digital connectivity, increase the efficiency of urban operation and services, and enabling better decision making while ensuring that it meets the needs of present and future generations with respect to economic, social, and environmental aspects. Which means that a smart city is nothing but an innovative city where the information and communication technologies tools are being used for the well-being of the citizens. As I said, that smart means it's an ability to create well-being for its citizens. So how to achieve this is, here we cannot build a city in under a night. So we need to go with a step by step. The level 1 is basic infrastructures to be developed, where we need to concentrate on the key sectors like utility, energy, mobility, healthcare, governance, and security. So when we concentrate on these areas first, utility, energy, mobility, healthcare, governance, and security. These are the primary objectives, primary areas where the basic infrastructure to be built, and this is to be integrated command and with a control center. There must be an integrated command and a control center where all these key sectors are integrated and controlled in a centralized place. When this is integrated, the second level, we need to go with a scalable solutions. If suppose in the near future, if there is a need for scalability, extensionability, in that case our city should be able to adapt to that one. So integration of existing and new policies should be defined very properly. The last one is when the basic structures are integrated and developed in a command and control center, then we can able to go with the level 3 like automate. So here the smart citizen services like completely automation can be built with the help of smart applications, analytics can be made. So the 3 levels, like first level is building the infrastructure, second one integrating them, the third one is automating the system. So with this we'll be able to define what is a smart city. Okay, I'll define once and then we'll move to the next slide. A smart city is the innovative city that uses information and communication technologies. So now we have a decision tree, whether are we moving on a right path to build a smart city or not. See, first one is, are there connected devices involved? Is there any 2 devices which are connected with each other? Yes, we shall move on to the next step. No, then it is not a smart city. So now we assume that the devices are connected which are involved. Next step, we need to check whether is data being generated from those devices. So those devices which are connected should be able to generate some sort of data. So once there is no data generated, so it is not a smart city. When data is generated, we should move on to the next level. That is very important level, is government entity involved. So without the involvement of government, we cannot build a smart city. Even though we build something without the involvement of the government, so it is cannot be complete. So we need to have a government entity involved. So when all these are yes, then we have a smart city initiative. When any one of these is not present, then it is not a smart city. So what is a smart city? The devices should be connected and data should be generated from those devices, and any sort of government entity should be involved. When all these things are achieved, then we are moving on to a very smart city initiative. Hope it is clear. Okay, then what are the typical smart city solutions? Now we have decided to build a smart city. What are the things we need to address? Okay, so there must, as I told you, there must be a command and control center, which is an centralized place where we'll be able to control the complete city from a desk. Like it should be able to address the public address system, it should have a good fiber network, smart lighting, city surveillance, environment sensors, very important. We should always be concentrating on protecting our environment. Then intelligent traffic city completely should be a Wi-Fi enabled so that any device can be able to connect to the any other device without any sort of issues. Smart parking, the parking problem should not be there. Smart parking. Solid waste management, the waste management is very important, where we need to take care of building a smart solutions to the management of the waste, and kiosk where we'll be able to automatically get the information what we require. Then emergency call box and any sort of applications like city applications, smart transport. So all these together, when we develop something, in that case we call this as a smart city. Typical smart city solutions, I'll recall once, we can move to the next one. First, we should have a public address system, and it should be connected with the fiber networks, smart lighting, city surveillance, environment sensors, emergency callbacks, city apps, and smart transport, in a command center, and intelligent traffic, city Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, smart parking, solid waste management, and kiosk. These are the typical smart city solutions which are required. Followed by a next subdivision, we go with what is actually IoT is. What is actually IoT is? It is nothing but, we'll see what is IoT is. See, I have taken two good examples here. Like many of us will forget to buy milk and come home. It may be raining, or our friends might have come. We do not know whether the milk or fruits or vegetables, whatever it may be, in the refrigerator, we do have it sufficient or not. When it has completely gone, when it has been completely used, we'll forget to buy, then we need to face it and worry. Correct? So when we build a smart refrigerator, the refrigerator will give you a message that what is available, what you should go and buy it. Like a friend who guides us, like a spouse who tells us continuously, don't forget to buy milk. A smart refrigerator do that. Okay. Smart thermostats. First example is, so refrigerator is becoming smart so that it will give us the commands which need to be got. Second one is smart thermostat, where we'll be able to find out what is the room temperature we need. If suppose in an half an hour I'm going to reach my home, I can set up with the help of smart thermostat what temperature should be there in my room, whether the temperature should be hot or cool. And we can also decide that based on my usage for 6 to 7 days of continuous usage, the machine should able to understand and then learn automatically what is that my body temperature will suit into that one, what is the temperature what I need. Always based on the machine learning techniques, I can able to accomplish that and integrate with the IoT. So what is this IoT? For all these things we need internet. So when things are connected to something, we call it as Internet of Things. And this is not a very new term of IoT. We know that Kevin Ashton is the first person who has coined the term Internet of Things. He believed that IoT could turn the world into data. So the complete world can run with the help of data that could be used to make the macro decisions on resource utilization. So the data is everything, whether it may be a structured data or unstructured data, data is all. Okay, information is also, he also say that information is a great way to reduce waste and increase its efficiency. That's really what the Internet of Things provides. So Kevin Ashton is called the father of IoT. He has coined the term Internet of Things during his job at MIT IoT Center. Internet is currently a human-to-human affair. The internet is currently a human-to-human affair, but that is changing. Human-to-human is becoming machine-to-machine. Internet of Things is everything to everything. Everything to everything it is communicating. For example, my fan is going to communicate with my AC. When I need to switch on my AC, when I need to turn off this fan, when I need to turn off the fan, when I need to switch on the AC. So that communication is being done between those two things through the internet. It is called as Internet of Things. So now, how big is the IoT market? So recently Transformer Insights has published this information. At the end of 2019 there were 7.6 billion active IoT devices. According to the new research published by Transformer Insights, this total will grow to 24.1 billion devices in the year 2030, and the economy of the IoT will be $1.5 trillion in 2030, a compound annual growth of 11% growth. So this is not a small growth. IoT is booming like something. The market of IoT is booming like something. From 2019 to 2030 it is going to have a very great boom. Whereas the major contributor is China with 26%, North America with 24%, and Europe with 23% will be the contribution. So China will be playing a major role in the IoT market as per the analysis by Transformer Insights. Now, what is the definition of an IoT? Internet of Things, which is usually abbreviated as IoT, can be described as Internet of Everything. Everything here literally means everything. Everything means it is everything. So that to put it simple, IoT is an internet technology that is used for every aspect in this life. So every aspect in this life we are going to use this IoT. The definition of IoT is still it is evolving, as the term is increasingly being used to describe the objects that interact and speak to one another, so we can have the opportunity to be more efficient in how we do things. It is not like replacing the humans. We are making the machines to communicate with themselves, reducing the burden of a human, so that the machines will be able to control themselves in an innovative way with the help of the internet. So what is actually the everything is everything? Okay, the Internet of Everything is Internet of Things is a scenario in which everything is provided with a unique identity number and is equipped with ability to automatically transfer the data over the internet network without human to human or without human to computer interaction. Simply put, everything connected to over internet protocol, that is IP, and interacts on predefined logic. So the IP addressing will play a very major role in giving us the unique identity to each and every object. So what is this everything to everything? IoT is everything to everything. Anything, any device, anyone, anybody, any service, any business, anytime, any context, any place and anywhere, any path and any network. Whatever may be, it may be anything to anything to anything to everything can be connected with the help of Internet of Things. It is nothing but everything to everything else. Now, Gartner has given an IoT reference model. Cisco also has provided its IoT reference model. So we'll concentrate now on Gartner's IoT reference model for our presentation. You can also go through what is Cisco's IoT reference model. So what is actually a reference model is, this is a model which is defined by Gartner, where depending upon the technologies what we need to do it, we can able to do some sort of modification in the IoT reference model. Here it is a 5-layer model where the ground layer is a device layer where the sensors, actuators are playing it major role here, and aggregation and gateways are also there in the device layer. Whereas in the communication layer, all the communication protocols are involved, are network topology like ring topology, bus topology, star mesh, many network topologies we have studied, right? All these topologies are communication service providers. All these are under the communication layer. So first we'll concentrate on the devices in the ground layer. Second layer will be communication layer. Third one is information layer. It is very important layer that information can be structured information or an unstructured information. So this sort of layer interfaces should be there. Metadata, data storage devices, and data and the event models will be present in this one. The next one is function layer, where we will see the machine learning, analytics, algorithms, what are the functions we need to do with the help of data. With the help of data, we are able to function it, and next to the process layer will process the information what we have received. So the devices will acquire the data, the communication layer will communicate and build the topologies, and it will be transferred to the information layer where the data will be segregated, and whatever data has been segregated will be given to the function layer where the algorithms and with the help of machine learning, deep learning algorithms will be developed and it will be processed by the process layer. So this is the Gartner's IoT reference model. It is very simple and more efficient reference model. So what are the applications of an IoT? IoT can be applied in many sectors like smart traffic management, security and surveillance, agriculture, healthcare, energy consumption, smart cities and home automations, and then agriculture. In all these places we can use this IoT. So now moving on to the last section of this one, how IoT helps in city management. How IoT helps in management of the city. Now first thing we have considered water management. So now water management is the primary objective of any smart city. Any city it isn't smart management, because city will have a number of people, more people will be living in cities than in the villages. So it is predicted that in 2050 75% of the people will be in the cities. So water management will say it's a very big task for building a smart city. With IoT sensor technology, water utility companies can track the water consumption, pressure, temperature and quality. Hence, when the companies and citizens have the hold over the estimated data such as average water consumption per household, the comparison becomes easy and effective. Measures can be taken accordingly. So when these authorities can able to build smart water meter and water leak detectors, okay, and water pressure point, like smart water management is very important. With the help of technology of sensor technologies, we'll be able to install the smart water meters and smart water distribution point, and if there is any sort of leakages, it will be automatically informed to the centralized place, and that can be controlled, and per household how much water they are utilizing we can able to track accordingly. We can use it efficiently. Second one is smart traffic. It is very important for any city. If it is in a village, the traffic will be less, whereas if it is in city, the traffic will be more. Traffic management system coupled with IoT, the response of traffic incidents becomes much shorter. With this system, in place of gathering data and making analysis in real time becomes very easy, because sensors collect the data, cameras are sensors, traffic control lights are sensors. These sensors will collect the data. We know that we ourselves are sensors. We always carry a smartphone with us. Smartphone itself play a major role in finding out the data. Correct? Based upon our smartphones, we'll be able to find out which path is having the more density, which path is traffic more, which path is having traffic light. Accordingly, we can allocate the smart traffic system can be made. The next one is smart rails. When it comes to railways, the concept of smart rails aims towards improving road traffic and in turn ensure that commuting becomes convenient and a timely manner. Pollution can be controlled, because when using the smart rails, the pollution significantly will be reduced, and also safety measures can be increased. We'll be able to have a smart railway system where even that if some animals are crossing the train track in forest, we'll be able to identify and we'll be able to control accordingly with the help of the smart railway system. The safety measures are easily organized with smart rail management system. A wholesome new level of security can be established by installing this latest safety measures, like warning signs can be installed and gates or railway crossings can be closed when there is huge traffic is there, road traffic. Accordingly, we can able to deploy our sensors. It can be keep on improving. The next one is smart parking. Based on the Internet of Things technology, the efficiency of the current cloud-based smart parking system can be easily achievable and helpful in developing a network architecture. So smart parking, because The smart parking will be able to reduce more number of space which is getting wasted, so that when we need to go into a mall, we'll be able to do the smart parking so that the more space will be utilized very properly. And the smart parking system also will consist of, when we deploy on-site deployment of the IoT module, even the vehicles can be deployed with some sort of sensors, and according to that one we'll be able to see which space is very good to detect to park our vehicle. Accordingly we'll be able to park our vehicle. Okay, smart parking is playing a very major role in the case of IoT smart cities. And very last, it is infrastructure as another great prospect. IoT can be revolution the complete scenario. For example, the machine learning, big data, sensors, IoT networks, all these are buzzing terms which are buzzing nowadays, which will offer a unique way to get a digital infrastructure and provide an accurate real-time information. This will enable a fast, cheap and better decision. Can be a waste collection vehicle can be there, which can monitor the waste collection, which can monitor and accordingly take the garbage outside, and the light sensors with the help of solar energy can be built. Okay, and transport can be controlled with the help of CCTV cameras. The surveillance can be more, so that we can reduce more number of problems when camera is installed. Fine. The next one is, what are the benefits of IoT? So we have seen what are the requirements of a smart city management, and with the help of surveillance, as I said, the smart cameras will reduce crime rate, and it will also improve the city's management, and it will reduce the crime detection. It will also increase the detection of a crime and having some sort of resolution. It is easy for policemen to catch the person with the help of smart surveillance systems and connected traffic signals. When all the traffic signals are connected in a smarter way, it will reduce the congestion, it will improve the emergency services response time. Because ambulance, in many countries we can see that when an ambulance approaches, there is a problem of congestion over happening there. The people, very sorry to say, the people sometimes will not leave the path of the ambulance. Not in many cases, very few cases, but when we install the smart city management system, that can be improved. The emergency services can be improved with lower fuel usage, because based on the congested traffic we can switch on and off our vehicle, so that the traffic fuel also will get used properly. And smart lightning system, with the help of this smart city, with the help of using this solar energy, we'll be able to use this lightning very properly. It will increase the efficiency and reduce the maintenance, power cuts and cost also will be saved, and new revenue opportunities will also be built with the help of the smart city management, because we'll be able to find out new ways of developing this electricity. And parking will, as we have discussed more about the parking, I'll just brief it out. So it will give us increased efficiency, reduction in pollution, fuel and cost savings, and new revenue opportunities. Again, we have in smart parking systems. And overall in city services, we'll have this efficient service delivery and response system, increased revenues, enhanced environmental monitoring capabilities, access to connectivity, and access to of information to citizens. These are the various benefits of IoT. And IoT implementation sounds very interesting, right? We have seen with the help of IoT we'll be able to build an empire, but execution of IoT is also a complex process, as this is not a simple process, because it consists of different components. It requires proper research, adequate planning, and lastly the important concern is huge budget. The government should be able to spend budget more in doing the research. Each IoT components has their own challenges that can create mess if the implementation do not take place in a well organized manner. To reduce the complexities and understand the successful implementation, process, there is a great need to divide IoT into 5 categories. These I call it as 5 key categories. First is standards, networks, sensors, analysis, actions. Standards, networks, sensors, analysis, and actions. Let us quickly see all these keys. First one is standards. Keeping the standards make a lot of difference. When something is standardized by an organization, it can be accepted worldwide. It can be accepted everywhere. When something is not standardized, everybody will have their own rules. So it is not a standard thing. More autonomy is also a problem. When there is an autonomy, it should be standardized. Okay, there are two types of regulatory bodies which are present. First one is technology standards, second one is regulatory standards. First one will standardize the technology, second one will standardize the regulations. Both are important. The former includes the data gathering and compiling process. The second one includes security and data privacy. Security and data privacy is very important when we come into the IoT implementation. Second one is networks. As we know that there are dozens of sensors are deployed. These sensors will be communicating with the main server. Hence, the data should be transmitted and carried over the network. The entire communication is powered by different technologies from Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, LTE. It will keep on going. So, in the case of implementation aspect, it is very challenging task to build out the networks, so which will have the comprising coverage, scalability, power consumption, security, and reliability. So, building a proper networks is very important. Next one is third key aspect is sensors. We know before we call it as IoT, we call it as sensor technologies. So sensors are the major key players in IoT. IoT is nothing but sensors to sensors communicating. Sensors will give us the data. So we need to have sensors which are smart and cheap. And also it should undergoes the limitations like interoperability, security, privacy, exactness, and power consumption. These areas it should be concentrated more on building up the sensors which are suitable for the certain applications of IoT. The fourth one is analysis. What it refers to analysis in IoT? Analysis, it is a general meaning like a process of inculcating the data that are meaningful is known as analysis. So when data is received, it may be in an unstructured form. It should be made as unstructured data. This data should be processed using some sort of data analysis, which we commonly face challenges are inability to manage a real-time data stream and ability to segregate this data into real-time data and structured or unstructured data. So we should implement some cognitive technology which is required to process the varied forms of data streamed in real time. Next, coming to the key actions, the adoption rate of IoT is quite slow, which has emerged out to be one of the major limitations of this new technology. We agree that the adoption rate is slow. Why is it slow? Because we do not know what is the action of a machine. It is unpredictable and very high risk. Numerous security aspects are to be addressed. So when we build something, we need to take care of n number of things, right from the scalability to security. However, the two important factors which create an IoT impact system ecosystem are machine learning and deep learning, like low machine learning hardware prices. So machine learning algorithms and the hardware implementation, both actions. Before we put on some action, we should do some research on that one. Now, as some concluding remarks, we'll see 3 key points. What is the road ahead of us? From what we have seen today, the Internet of Things ecosystem is quite robust and complex. The main paradigms in all practical science dictate the implementation to be simplified. We should have a simplified, but it seems to be IoT implementation in smart cities is definitely not going to be less complex in near future. It is not going to be less complex, it is going to be more complex. The implementation of IoT is not very less complex, it is a more complex ecosystem. We should be able to address that. Second one, the main thing which catalyze this process is standardization. So everything whatever we do, it should have a standardized. One thing is certain, though IoT brings a lot of benefits for both city authorities and citizens, this is why we can safely assume that this industry will grow exponentially into a multi-billion dollars one. Though it is slow, we are moving it very right way towards the smart city. Last one is smart cities on the globe, or the models to be looked upon. If you want to transgress from smart cities into smart civilization, smart cities to smart civilization, and to reap all the benefits this technology has to offer, we have to overcome the challenges of the IoT. This is not something that can be achieved overnight. As I said in the beginning, we cannot achieve anything overnight. We should have those three key mantras, what I said. First one, basic infrastructures to be built, integrated, then we should automate. So we are placing these three into key points in this field to lead us a better smart future. With this, I would like to conclude my speech. Don't forget three things. First thing, when we need to build up a basic IoT application, we should think of basic infrastructure built up. Second one, integrate them. Third one, automate them. Make the machines to machine communicate without the human intervention. Will let us build a smart city, secured smart city for a better smart civilization. Thank you all. You can reach me out at this email ID which is given to you here. With this, I would like to conclude my keynote speech. Once again, I would like to thank the organizers of this international conference and all the participants. I wish all the participants best wishes for your upcoming presentations. Thank you.